Many people simply cannot tolerate Sigma males. You may wonder why, as these men are typically very independent, prefer to do things their own way, and are not supporters like many other men. Their behavior may appear odd or unconventional to others, making them despised or even hated, but there are a variety of reasons why people find Sigma males intolerable. Here are 10 strange Sigma men that may surprise you. To start, many people believe that these guys are playing hard to get or are simply trying to be different. Some people believe that these guys are acting shy. They seem to be playing hard to get as if it were a game, as if they want to stand out from the crowd and make themselves unique. People may become confused and unable to determine whether this is genuine or merely a show, which can leave them feeling uncertain or even irritated. While an alpha male may make an excessive effort to stand out and be the center of attention, a Sigma man is content to remain on the sidelines and observe from a distance. This can be confusing to some people who are accustomed to seeing men compete for dominance and attention in social situations, but for Sigma men, it's not about playing games or trying to be different, it's just their natural disposition. If people can't accept that, then it's not their problem. Sigma men have a strong sense of self and aren't influenced by societal norms or pressure from others. Second, they can be a little difficult to persuade. People view the Sigma man as a bit of a challenge because he doesn't react well to persuasion. Therefore, you need to present a compelling argument and provide convincing evidence if you want him to change his mind. He won't be readily convinced by charm or flattery. This may irritate those who are accustomed to using deceit or mind tricks to get what they need. While this may make them appear stubborn or hard to deal with, it also makes them true to themselves in a world where people are always attempting to control and influence others. Sigma men value reason and logic over feelings and meaningless words. They are also resistant to peer pressure, trends, and cultural pressure. It is difficult to influence Sigma guys because they stand their ground and adhere to their moral principles. They can spot dishonest motives and will not hold back when confronted with manipulative tactics. Behavior this can make them seem intimidating to some, but it's just a way to protect themselves from being taken advantage. Number 3, they can be seen as a threat by those in positions of power. People on top often feel threatened by Sigma men. Why is that? Simple. They don't follow the rules. They don't care about power struggles or moving up the social scale. They just do what's right and effective, regardless of what others may think or say. They don't hesitate to question the status quo or to stand up for what they believe. This can cause tension because it upends the way things usually operate in a dog-eat-dog world, where they are the wolves that choose to run along. These men aren't trying to overthrow the power structure, they just don't feel the need to conform or submit to it. The fourth characteristic of these men is that they can be unpredictable and difficult to figure out. They're like a book with a plot that keeps changing, and just when you think you've got them figured out, they'll surprise you with a twist. This is because they're hard to control and hard to predict, which can be frightening for those in power. Their independence and refusal to follow pointless rules can make them stand out and draw attention, which can be both a blessing and a curse. They don't follow the same rules as everyone else. Instead, they respond to events according to their own convictions and life experiences rather than in an effort to blend in or win others' approval. This makes them unpredictable because their behavior can differ greatly from what most people would do in the same circumstance. People often find it difficult to understand them because of their quiet nature. They don't talk much about themselves or their plans, which makes it difficult for others to figure out what they're thinking or going to do next. However, this isn't because they're trying to be mysterious or confuse people, it's just the way they are. They prefer to keep their thoughts and feelings to themselves and don't like to reveal too much to others. They value their privacy and don't feel the need to explain themselves to anyone. This can make them appear distant or aloof. This might sometimes result in misconceptions or unfounded assumptions, but it's not because they're hostile or indifferent. Rather, they simply like to stay to themselves. You won't find a Sigma gossiping or discussing people behind their backs. Number 6. They can be brutally honest and a little intimidating for others to handle. Honesty is the Sigma currency, but saying what needs to be said can be like a punch to the gut for some. However, in a world of half-truths and carefully crafted lies, this isn't about being brutal for the sake of being brutal. Rather, it's about cutting through the noise and getting right to the heart of the matter. He values privacy and believes that actions speak louder than words. He prefers to observe and analyze situations before acting, which can make him appear mysterious or detached. The Sigma man is refreshing or, for some, a windfall that surprises them. He won't sugarcoat things or tell you what you want to hear. Instead, he will tell you the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. For Sigmas, honesty is the cornerstone of any relationship, and they won't compromise that for anyone. That can be a difficult pill to swallow for those who prefer a more polished version of reality. The Sigma straightforward approach isn't for everyone, but for those who value sincerity, it's a relief when real people find themselves on the receiving end of Sigma's unfiltered truth. They recognize that it's not an attack, but rather a handshake and an invitation to participate in a world where honesty is the currency of connection. Number 7. They prefer to handle their issues alone and dislike seeking assistance. They are the lone wolves, finding strength and independence without the need for outside assistance or a network of support. It's not about being overly arrogant or obstinate, rather, it's about their self-reliance and belief that they can overcome obstacles on their own. They see problems as challenges, tests of their grit and resilience, and they frequently choose to keep their struggles to themselves, not out of secrecy, but rather of a deep sense of personal responsibility. They have a do-it-yourself attitude, trusting their judgment and skills. They don't shy away from responsibility or hardship, rather, they face it head-on, confident in their ability to find a solution. This doesn't mean they never ask for help, rather, they only do so when absolutely necessary. They value independence and self-sufficiency, which makes them self-reliant problem solvers in a society that frequently seeks out outside validation and assistance. Number 8, they're slow to trust and have few close friends. Some people find it difficult to get along with people who are slow to trust others and only have a small circle of close friends. This can make them seem distant or difficult to get to know. They may even come across as uninterested in making new friends. People may feel as though they are constantly trying to prove that they are trustworthy or seen as true friends, which can make them feel uncomfortable or excluded. However, just because someone takes their time to trust doesn't mean that they are cruel or unfriendly. They are simply selective about who they allow into their personal lives because they value quality over quantity. They prefer to have a small number of strong, sincere relationships over a big network of acquaintances when it comes to friendships, and if they accept you as a friend, you'll have their support and devotion for the ninth life. They don't always follow the rules and can be viewed as somewhat rebellious. For some people, following the rules can be monotonous, so they prefer to explore and see what's around the corner or over the hill. This is how it is for those who don't always follow the rules. They have a bit of a rebel streak. They don't want to break every rule, but they do question why certain rules exist in the first place. If they don't make sense, they won't follow them. This doesn't mean they're bad or seeking trouble. They simply don't believe in doing something just because it's been done that way. They're not afraid to question things to shake things up a little, and they might even break a few rules if they believe there's a better way. Some folks just find such type of thought and conduct intolerable. This rebellious spirit might make Sigma men seem somewhat unpredictable, but it also makes them free thinkers and innovators. Sigma men are not striving to be different only to show off. As long as they don't let their rebellious tendency to get them into trouble, this mentality may lead to tremendous success and satisfaction since they feel most alive when pushing limits and attempting new things. Number 10. When they see injustice or wrongdoing, they speak out without fear, while many people shy away from harsh realities. The Sigma man is the one who raises the difficult issues. He doesn't mince words or try to make things seem better than they actually are. Instead, he confronts them head-on and challenges the status quo. This isn't just about stirring up trouble for the sake of causing it, it's also about refusing to let injustice go unnoticed, which can unnerve others. The Sigma's uncompromising opposition to misconduct isn't always favorably accepted. There is a fire in his eyes, a passion for what's right, and a refusal to keep quiet when things are wrong because the Sigma man has a strong sense of justice. Some may consider it disruptive, like an unnecessary disruption of peace, but he cannot remain silent when faced with obvious injustice. When others would decide to keep quiet and play it safe, the Sigma becomes a loud champion for justice because he has an inner compass that always points to justice. He doesn't attempt to be a hero, but he always speaks up for what's right. His willingness to speak out without fear demonstrates his dedication to a society where justice triumphs over evil. It is a sincere reaction to a moral obligation.